Question 6 looks a lot more intimidating than it is. The diagram shows a square and two circles. The inner circle is the largest one that can be drawn inside the square. The outer circle is the smallest one that can be drawn with a square inside it. All that really means is that we know that our inner circle is touching the edges of our square, and that the outer circle, well, the vertices of the square are touching the circumference of our circle. Prove that the shaded area between the two circles is the same as the area enclosed by the inner circle. So what I'm going to need to do is work out my area enclosed by the inner circle and also the area of my shaded region. And then I'm going to have to compare those and show that they're equal. So let's deal with the inner circle first. The area is going to be pi multiplied by r squared. So I need to find the radius of this circle. Well, the radius of this circle is going to be half the length of the square. So length of the square is 10, so the radius is 5 centimeters, so the area of my inner circle is 25 pi square centimeters. The area of the shaded region is going to be the area of the large circle subtract the area of the small circle, and we know the area of the small circle is 25 pi. The area of the large circle, well, I need to work out my radius again, and my easiest way to do that is going to be to work out this value here. So that is to work out the diagonal of my square. Now I could work out the diagonal of the whole square, 10 squared plus 10 squared, all square rooted, and then halve it, or I could work on this smaller right angled triangle. In either case, I'm going to be using Pythagoras' theorem. This length here is 5 centimeters, this length here is 5 centimeters. So in total, the length of my diagonal is the square root of 5 squared plus 5 squared, which is 5 root 2. So I have pi times 5 root 2, the radius of my larger circle, squared. If I square that, that is 50 pi, subtract 25 pi, which is 25 pi, which you'll notice is exactly the same as the area of my inner circle. So therefore my area of my inner circle is equal to the area of my shaded region. And it might feel like I've gone a bit overkill on the amount of working out I've shown there, but for a show that question I need to convince the examiner I know every step of the working. I've not just looked at what I had to show and tried to fudge the answer. Question 7 asks you to factorise a quadratic. Now we could do this the conventional way, write down a, c and b and look to factorise, but we should notice immediately this is in a specific form. This is in the difference of two squares form. By that I mean x squared is a square number, 9 is a square number, and we're finding the difference between them, we're subtracting them from one another. Well, in general, any difference of two squares, a squared subtract b squared, is a subtract b multiplied by a plus b. A squared subtract ab add ab, they cancel out, subtract b squared. So in this case, my first square number is x, and my first square number square rooted is x, and my second square number square rooted is 3. And then I just make one negative and one positive. Doesn't matter which way around I go, and that's my final answer. So noticing difference of two squares makes life a lot easier here. Question 8. In Mr. Hamid's class, the ratio of girls to boys is 5 to 4. If there were 3 more boys, the ratio of girls to boys would be 1 to 1. Work out the total number of girls and boys in Mr. Hamid's class. Well, this 1 to 1 is a bit of a gift here. It makes life a bit easier, but we're going to take the same approach as if this was a slightly harder changing ratios question. We're going to say, I don't know how many boys and girls there are, but I do know that if there are 5x girls, then there are 4x boys, where x is some value, some integer value. Or indeed just some value, integer in this case. And then I add 3 more boys. So once I add 3 more boys, I have 5x to 4x plus 3 is equal to 1 to 1. Now in this case, that just means 5x is equal to 4x plus 3. In the more general case, it would mean that 5x divided by 4x plus 3 is equal to 1 divided by 1. But here, 1 to 1 means they're the same, so 5x equals 4x add 3. Subtracting 4x from both sides, x is equal to 3. The question asks for the total number of girls and boys. Well, there are 5x girls, so 15 girls, 4x boys, so 12 boys, and 15 add 12 is 27 in total. So my answer is 27. And that's the next 3 questions dealt with.